All right, I want to bring everything that's going on over there in Iraq, just unraveling to what it means here and for the Keystone Pipeline. My theory is this, guys. You can agree or disagree, but if you disagree, you're wrong. But my theory is this, that it's actually going to help the whole Keystone Pipeline project. It's going to prompt it to open earlier than later. Kayleigh, am I crazy?
I think so, because I don't think the Democrats.
You think I'm crazy?
I do think you're crazy on this one.
All right,
because
good. Enjoy your final appearance. Go ahead.
No, you're not crazy. I don't think the Democrats will allow this to happen. There's a man named Tom Steyer, big Democrat donor, $100 million. They will never allow the Keystone to go through because they want that money, even though it makes sense. I mean, even though the southern half of the Keystone Pipeline created 4,000 jobs.
Oh, I hear you. But my theory is this. I mean, the longer Americans are, I don't care whether you're on the left or the right, environmentalists or not, environmentalists, I'm going to argue, will be screaming for it.
Well, I don't know if the environmentalists are, because they've really pretty much said no way, no how. They've perpetuated this whole culture of fossil fuel alarmism. They've perpetuated this idea that anything to do with oil or natural gas is terrible for all Americans. But at the same time, the president has been pushing for more job creation. He's been pushing for a cleaner environment, for energy independence. And if he opens up the Keystone Pipeline, which is a private operation, he could check all of those boxes. So I do think that
it makes sense. And it makes sense with unions, Colonel. I mean, they're the ones who are saying, Mr. President, we love you, but you got to quit kowtowing to these environmentalists. And I think the president is actually going to worry about that. He's going to be checked on, what are you doing to reduce oil dependence here? And he'll say, all right, I'll open the damn thing.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt it's going to create jobs. And yes, I think the president's very vulnerable here. You know, I used to live right next to the Alaska pipeline. I know the pump stations all the way from Prudhoe all the way to Valdez. You know, we never really had a serious problem. The environmentalists don't know what they're talking about based upon our own experience. And the reality is we need the jobs in this sour economy. Yep. And what have we been saying the last few years? That we have plenty of natural gas, we have plenty of oil, we can be energy independent. Why don't we want this in a troubled world where people are trying to kill us abroad?
Well, I think that you hit the nail on the head, and my view, Kayleigh, is the more those prices go up, we were just showing an oil chart there, and more gas goes up, and let's say it shows signs that it's not letting up, then I think the president's pushed to do this. And then he can always go back to his critics and say, well, I opened up all possibilities, and you can't blame me for this.
It would have to be a moment of utter desperation, but I think everything the panel...
You're very cynical and jaded. You were too young to be so
Everything
jaded.
The panel has said is pragmatic, but this is not a pragmatic president. This president, I've said it, and I'll say it again, he's an ideologue to his own detriment. And this, we are seeing, will be his detriment.
All right, well, if she's right, Sabrina, then we're just going to stew in our own juices because we can't get them.
Yeah, I'm going to turn all the lights off.
Colonel, let's say we don't do it. Let's say we just sit and chill through Iraq imploding. Then what?
Well, you know, they're not going to stop in Baghdad. They're going to go, ISIS will go to Riyadh if given the opportunity. You know, the president said today from the Rose Garden, Neil, that this is a regional war. Of course it's a regional war. You have Iran that's in there with the IRGC. You have the Hezbollah from Lebanon that are in there. You know, you think it's going to be contained in Iraq? Of course not. So it's going to impact, you know, OPEC in a very serious way. We better be smart about how we're using the oil. Oh, by the way, look at the Bay of Benghazi, or look rather at Nigeria and what's happening there, where we get about 9% of our oil.
Very good. All I tell, guys, and thank you all very, very much, we are redrawing the map of the Middle East as we speak. A decades-long map being redrawn completely. More to this.